House price wipeout looms. The headlines are everywhere, splashed across newspapers and news sites, warning of a looming disaster in the UK housing market. Property bubble set to burst, mortgage misery for millions. These dramatic phrases are enough to make any homeowner or potential buyer nervous. You've seen the headlines, but is the UK housing market really on the brink of collapse, or is this just media hype designed to grab your attention? After years of soaring prices, with homes in many areas doubling in value, it's natural to wonder if a crash is coming, or if the market can keep defying gravity. Homeowners and first-time buyers alike are anxious. Could their biggest asset suddenly lose value, wiping out years of savings and hard work? The real question is this: are we heading for a catastrophic crash, where prices plummet and panic sets in, or just a soft landing, where prices dip or flatten, but don't collapse entirely? The difference matters. A crash could trap people in negative equity, making it impossible to move or remortgage, while a dip might finally open doors for first-time buyers who've been locked out for years. The stakes are high for millions of families, investors, and renters. So let's cut through the noise, ignore the panic, and look at the facts that really matter. This isn't just about numbers or graphs, it's about real lives, real families, and the futures people are working so hard to build. In this guide, I'll break down the real data, not just the headlines, and help you understand what's actually happening beneath the surface. We'll examine the forces shaping the market, the risks, the opportunities, and what it all means for you, whether you're buying, selling, or just watching from the sidelines. My goal is simple: to give you the information and confidence you need to make smart, informed decisions about your home and your future. So forget the panic. Let's see what's really happening as we head toward 2026. Let's get started and uncover the truth together. So, what's actually happening right now in the UK housing market? Let's break down the latest numbers and trends to get a clearer picture of where things stand as we approach the end of 2025. Let's look at the official figures released by the government and leading property analysts. As of late 2025, the UK housing market is noticeably sluggish, with activity slowing compared to the frenzied pace of previous years. The average house price now sits at about $288,000, which is only a 0.5% increase over the past year, a sign of a market that's treading water rather than making big moves. The post-pandemic boom that sent prices soaring has clearly ended. Prices aren't crashing, but they're not climbing rapidly either. Instead, we're seeing a period of stability and caution. But remember, the national average can be misleading. It hides some significant regional differences that are shaping the market in unique ways. London, which was once the powerhouse of UK property growth, has actually seen prices fall by 1.5%, bringing the average price there down to $525,000. This marks a notable shift from previous years. Meanwhile, places like Northern Ireland and Scotland are bucking the trend, with house prices rising by 3.5% and 2.5% respectively. This growth is largely thanks to better affordability and increased demand in these regions. What's happening in Belfast is a world apart from the situation in Kensington, London. Local factors are playing a huge role in shaping prices and demand. So, if you're thinking of buying or selling, it's crucial to focus on your local market conditions, not just the national headlines or averages. Sales volumes have dropped significantly, now averaging around 90,000 transactions per month, down from a peak of 150,000. This sharp decline shows that buyers and sellers are more cautious and selective. Buyers are taking their time to make decisions, carefully weighing their options, while sellers need to be realistic about pricing and expectations. The days of frantic bidding wars and instant sales are behind us, at least for now, but properties are staying on the market longer, and competition has cooled. All in all, it's a cooler, more considered market, one where patience and local knowledge are more important than ever. To truly understand today's housing market, it's important to look beyond the headlines and dig into the numbers that shape the story. That means taking a step back and looking at how things have changed over time. Back in 2005, the average UK house cost around $155,000. Fast forward to today, and that figure has soared to $288,000, almost double in less than 2 decades. But that's only part of the story, because those numbers are in cash terms. If you adjust for inflation, that 2005 house would be worth about $270,000 in today's money. So in real terms, house prices have only risen by about 7% over the past 20 years, a much smaller increase than the cash figures suggest. the 2008 financial crisis hit hard, causing real house prices to fall by nearly 20% almost overnight. It took until 2016 for the market to fully recover those losses, showing just how long downturns can last. More recently, high inflation has changed the picture again. Even though the cash price of homes has gone up, the real value, what your money can actually buy, has dropped. So, while your house might be worth more pounds on paper, those pounds don't stretch as far as they used to. This silent crash in real house values is easy to miss, but it's a crucial part of the story. It reveals that, despite the perception of ever-rising prices, real growth has been much more volatile and far less dramatic than many believe. In fact, periods where real prices fall aren't rare. They're a normal part of the market's ups and downs. Inflation has already helped the market let off steam, reducing the pressure for a dramatic drop in cash prices. While a major crash isn't impossible, it's important to remember that the context behind the numbers matters just as much as the numbers themselves. So when you see those big headline figures, remember, they don't always tell the full story of what's really happening in the housing market. If the market's cooling, why aren't prices falling fast? The answer: supply and demand. The UK hasn't built enough homes for decades, missing government targets year after year. Too many buyers, too few properties. Basic economics keeps prices high. Affordability is stretched, mainly due to higher mortgage rates. After years of low rates, the Bank of England hiked them to fight inflation, pushing typical 5-year fixed mortgages to 4.5%. Higher rates mean higher payments, reducing what buyers can afford. The construction industry faces shortages of skilled workers and expensive materials, making new homes even pricier. These costs get passed to buyers, keeping prices up. So, lack of supply acts as a floor, while high rates act as a ceiling. The result? A market stuck in a tug-of-war, neither boom nor bust. It's a stalemate. Not all homeowners are the same. The market is split into two camps. First, outright owners. About a third of UK homes have no mortgage. They're mostly older, often retired, and insulated from rising rates. They're not forced sellers and can wait out market dips. Many are downsizers, and often cash buyers, making them attractive in a slow market. Then there's the mortgage brigade, about 30% of households, including recent buyers and those needing to remortgage. When fixed deals end, they face payment shocks as rates jump. This squeezes their finances and makes moving harder. They're most at risk if jobs are lost. But today's stricter lending rules mean most borrowers can cope with higher rates. The large base of outright owners and tighter lending standards make a 2008-style crash less likely. The system is more robust now. Outright owners provide a safety net that didn't exist in previous downturns. This division stabilizes the market. If supply is tight, why aren't prices rising? Several factors have slowed the market. More homes are staying on the market longer, giving buyers more choice and bargaining power. Buyers are now much more price sensitive, no longer willing to pay any price. The cost of living crisis and high mortgage rates mean buyers are cautious. More sales are falling through, and sellers must accept lower offers. Realistically priced homes still sell, but overpriced ones linger. The average time to sell has jumped from 40 to over 60 days. In some areas, especially for expensive homes, it takes even longer. The power has shifted from sellers to buyers, a classic sign of a cooling market. Government support schemes like stamp duty holidays and have ended, taking heat out of the market. Their removal has helped return things to a more normal pace. The frenzy is over. It's a buyer's market now. The rental market is now a huge part of the story. With buying harder, more people are renting for longer, just as rental supply is shrinking. Tax changes and new regulations have pushed many small landlords to sell up, reducing rental stock. When landlords sell, those homes often leave the rental market for good. The result: soaring demand, shrinking supply, and record rent increases, up around 9% annually. In some cities it's even higher, with fierce competition for every flat. Renters face bidding wars and struggle to save for deposits, trapping them in the rental cycle. High rents strain household budgets and make it harder to buy. While the sales market is cool, the rental market is red hot. Strong rental yields may eventually tempt some investors back, supporting prices in some areas. What could move the market next? Let's look at the key factors. On the upside, wage growth is strong, about 5%, and if it outpaces inflation, affordability improves. The biggest factor is interest rates. If inflation falls, the Bank of England could cut rates in 2026. Even a small cut would boost confidence and make mortgages cheaper, tempting buyers back. Mortgage approvals are already ticking up in anticipation, but risks remain. The UK economy is fragile, with weak growth forecasts. A recession or rising unemployment could trigger forced sales and price falls. External shocks, like energy price spikes or new trade tariffs, could also hurt. Most experts predict flat or very low growth for 2026, 0 to 2%. No one expects a crash, but a boom is off the table too. So, what's the most likely outcome? A catastrophic crash is very unlikely. It would take a major economic shock and mass job losses to trigger a 20% plus fall. Stricter lending and many outright owners make the market more resilient. The chronic housing shortage also acts as a safety net. A return to boom times is also off the cards. Affordability is too stretched. Without big rate cuts or strong wage growth, there's not enough fuel for a surge. The most probable scenario, a soft landing and a period of stagnation or modest growth. Prices will likely move sideways, with small ups and downs. Regional differences will grow. Some areas may see small gains, others small falls. For buyers, there's more choice and less pressure. For sellers, realistic pricing is key. The verdict: prepare for calm, not chaos. The roller coaster is over. We're on a slow, flat track.